My name is Nokhanyo Ndlovu. I am a counseling psychologist. I am currently stationed at Medium E Correctional Centre in the Durban management area. My work is therapy with sentenced offenders. I do screening, and sometimes I might do a session of a psychoeducational workshop with the remand detainees. However, my work is just for those who are sentenced, and most of my work, the bulk actually, is life reports, assessments, and therapy. I've always wanted to help. I've always wanted to shine a torch into the dark spaces. And my name is Nokhanyo, light bearer. So I suppose I was always born to bring light. This environment, it just touched my heart, and I would look at them and I'd be like, wow, I'd love to bring light. I'd love to bring a smile and bring hope. That was when I decided that I really would like to move from working within a tertiary institution to working within the rehabilitation centers. So my typical day, I will probably have a schedule where I've got follow-ups, I've got new referrals, and then maybe I also have got some work to do in the hospital. And then at times I might also go down to C1. Yesterday, the matriculants were writing their exams. I spent an hour doing motivation, encouraging them. So really here within the female center, there's a lot of work I do, group work, individual therapy, and sometimes just sitting, just standing in a corridor with the offenders and just talking about general issues that affect women. Because for me, the main thing is for them to feel like they're just women to me. The women that I work with within the center, oh my word, they are just women, ordinary women, some of them who made poor choices. Some of the women, they don't even understand how they got to be where they are. So to me, I could be one of them. I always approach life, had I not had help, had I not had buffering, had I not had a supportive environment, had I not had Christ grounding me, I probably could have ended up being one of them. It is hard being incarcerated as a woman. You've got kids out there. You wake up wondering what is happening to them. It is winter, and some of the women here, their kids get to be taken away maybe by social services. They're in places of safety. And some of the women have got teenagers who are staying all by themselves. So that depression is really, really major here. And it comes out of the helplessness, the hopelessness. Most of the women that I see and that are incarcerated, they've got underlying trauma histories. And they come in here, and not because outside they were self-medicating, outside they were always on the run, abusing drugs and whatever. But now when you are here, you are sober now. Now when you are sober, now everything comes up. And now they get to experience this flashback. And I'm telling you, you see an older woman who is going back to a time when she was 9 years old and she was raped. And she literally feels like she's suffocating. She can literally re-experience, and it's probably because all along she has been running, and now she is here. Here, you've got to be sober, you've got to be present, and then trauma comes out. So most of them really deal mainly with depression and PTSD. We have a team with social workers, and we give them what we call a corrective emotional experience. And that lets them know that you may be imprisoned here, but if deep down here you are free, you can fly. Which is why you get them registered, they get A's in matric, they do so well in tertiary, because we get them, well, I always say to them, anyway, most of you were in prison before you were in prison. So now that we are here, we can get to unlock you from the deeper prison. So for as long as they are seen, they are heard, they see that I matter, for as long as we are bringing out that worth, then for me, we are doing a great work. Working here within the Correctional Centre, this place just gave me a deeper understanding of childhood trauma and how it impacts people later in life. And now with the work now, then I started doing the other work of now trauma processing and just getting the people to re-image themselves, getting them to know. So there's a Bible verse that says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And my soul knows it very well. So I would say really it's out of the need out there, and me seeing that I am just but one person. I can't be here and there and everywhere. However, with the book can be read everywhere in places where a psychologist will never reach. So the intention really is to make people, millions, more than More than 50 million South Africans are never going to have access to a psychologist. However, they do need to heal, they need to be restored, they need to be delivered, and they need to know that there is help for them. So my soul is exactly that tool that makes you see that, okay, we can language what you are going through. Actually, you are not it. We can dig deeper, we can peel off the layers, and we can get the real you. Oh, women like me, we may not be seen out there, but we are seen in the darkness. And that is why we need to shine the torch. Which is why for me, I salute all the women who work within the rehabilitation center, the work they do, not just as security officials, but the work they do in mothering, in sistering, the work they do in holding and containing these women. I really, really salute them. I have only good things to say about women who work in rehabilitation centers because it takes a lot. It's high risk for most of them. However, they wake up every day and they come here to impact and make a difference in these women's lives. So this Women's Month, I just want to say, know your worth as a woman. You were created beautiful. You are a helper. As a matter of fact, from where I'm standing as a Christian, God looks at Adam and he says, it is not good that man should be alone. And then he said, aha, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a helper. So we are here as helpers. When we walk in to make the situation better. So I just want women to remember that. That is who you were meant to be. You wake up in the morning, who do I touch today? Who do I bring a smile today to? However, if you're not healed, you're not whole, you also operate out of your own pain, then you can't be that. However, if you heal, then you can pour from a wholesome vessel. This is why I would love all women to know that healing is their portion, joy is their portion, so that you can live life that is abundant.